What if they don't like me? What if I'm not cool enough? What if I say something embarrassing? It's like I'm in high school again. Well, hello. My name is Rachel, and I just finished my first year of teaching high school. Here is a video about what I learned from my first year teaching high school, some advice, and why it was my best year of teaching so far. First thing is first, I was a little bit more strict at first whenever I walked into that classroom on the first day of school in August. I was actually really scared, but I put on my teacher face and I let these kids know who was boss, but not like in a strict way. Do you think I could really be strict? I mean, people always say that I'm just too nice. I'm just too nice. And really, I just kind of turned into a teacher that was too nice in the end. The first few weeks, you got to be a little bit strict. Sometimes it is awkward with high school students because they do want to test you, but it will pay off in the end. And I'll tell you why in just a little bit. Another big thing is do not be afraid to hold these high school students accountable for their actions. Even though I said I was a little bit strict in the beginning, this was something that I struggled with a little bit because I ended up forming really good relationships with a lot of my kids, and sometimes I didn't want to correct them because I care for them so much, and I feel for them, and I have a lot of empathy for them, and sometimes they are going through stuff, and I don't want to make it harder for them. But definitely hold them accountable if their actions are making you uncomfortable or any of your students uncomfortable. Definitely, you gotta do it. One big thing that I already kind of mentioned a little bit is forming relationships with your students. At the high school age, it is a difficult age, and a lot of them are going through things. The only way that you're going to gain their trust and respect is if you show them that in return, and is if you form relationships with them back. Students will definitely respect you more and test you less. They will want to work with you instead of against you. During my first year, not a lot of the students talked to me very much. I'm an art teacher, so I kind of just let them do their thing after I gave them a lesson. Eventually, the goofy banter started and a lot of the relationships started forming. They started realizing that I was kind of on their side, I suppose. I feel like everything just kind of clicked, especially a little bit after the winter holidays. Everything kind of started clicking. A lot more kids started coming up to my desk, not afraid to ask me questions. I think next year I'm probably going to try to be a little bit less shy in the beginning, because I say I was strict, but I was actually a little bit shy. Okay, I was a little bit shy. All right. But I had a great year full of goofy banter and a lot of awesome memories because of the relationships that I built with my students. And it's summer for me right now, and I'm still missing them. 2 weeks into summer, I'm thinking about my students and I'm missing them. One thing I will say about building relationships, again, is becoming a little bit too nice at the end, because that's kind of what happened to me. I started getting a little bit too nice. I started letting things go a little bit. Next year, I'm going to learn from that and definitely going to keep holding them accountable for everything throughout the year within reason. I mean, I'm a nice teacher, all right? I'm not gonna fuss at them. I did not yell the entire year, and I'm so proud of that. Once these relationships are formed, if you become super duper nice and you let everything go, which I didn't let everything go, but it might be hard to manage these difficult behaviors, which brings me back to the first thing I said, is being a little bit strict in the beginning, setting that foundation so you can always go back to that foundation at any point of the year and hold them accountable for the goals and the rules that you set in the very beginning. If you have that foundation, you can always go back, set your boundaries. They know the rules. All in all, the last thing I will say is to go with the flow, especially if you are a high school teacher. You never know what's going to come out of these kids' mouths. Could be fun, could be not so fun. Accept the hardships of being a high school teacher. Try to understand your students. Try to empathize with them, because you never know what they are going through at home. If you have a student that never comes to class, sleeps all day, doesn't really turn in work, there's probably something going on. The main point is to find a balance between maintaining a positive classroom environment, keeping your students' trust, keeping up those relationships, keeping up the respect for each other so you work together in the end. Hold them accountable for anything that you or another student might be uncomfortable with. Yeah, so this was my best year teaching because of all the great relationships that I have formed this year. So many of these kids warmed my heart every single day they came into class. Little cheesy teacher moment. It's fine. So for the most part, high schoolers know what the rules are, what they need to do. It's just up to you to keep them accountable and form those relationships so they work with you and not against you. Okay. I hope you liked this video. If you have any more questions about teaching high school or teaching in general or my experience as a teacher, leave them in the comments below. And thank you so much for watching this video. Subscribe for more videos like this, and I will see you next time. Bye.